Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, we are about 15 or so miles northwest of world-famous Miami Beach as we are set for football at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Miami Dolphins. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis on hand, and this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now the Ravens getting ready for their first go on offense. As we get a look at a guy who grew up in Florida, played his college ball, of course, in Louisville. It's the electric Lamar Jackson.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
One touchdown, one pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Throwing now, Jackson on first down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Jackson. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. Leading the charge will be their quarterback. Always fun to watch, Deshaun Watson.
Brandon, it's always nice when you get recognized with an individual award. And he was the AFC Offensive Player of the Week last week. But when you do it in a win, so much the better.
Absolutely. And he was all talking about that win, not so much the award he received on Wednesday.
That's a nice-looking award. I wonder if he took it home, got out of the car, showed it off to the kids in the neighborhood, passed it around. Wonder what he did with it.
No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Watson. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Lamb. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Here's Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Lamb. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Well, that didn't take very long. You mentioned you have to keep him under wraps. Avoid the big play is what you said, and here he makes one in the first quarter.
Yeah, you can't let this become a habit. Otherwise, you know what will happen? They'll flat out take over this game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go again. Here we go again.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Defensively, here are the starters for Baltimore. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
I jotted down in my notes in prepping for this game that this is definitely an area we're going to keep an eye on, because you're talking about where they in stopping the run. Well, how about what they're facing? This unit loves to run the football, and they rank highly in the league in getting it done.
Yeah, power against power. Something's got to give. On 2nd down, it's Bowman. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's 2 different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And the Buffet boys, the O-line. Hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Check, check.
On 2nd down now, it's Hubbard, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Jackson. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he probably should have been down earlier, but they do finally get to him 3 yards short of the line to gain.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
He can't hit me. He's not going to get me.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here, because it's a different team they're facing. but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And he's got some space here. 27 yards there, a first down.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. Wiggles free. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. He stayed afloat for a second there after the first wave of contact, but that was going nowhere.
Yeah, what did he tell us in pregame? I just don't want to get my feet stopped initially when I'm trying to make a run. That's exactly what happened there. Unfortunately, as you noted, got away a little bit from the first one, but the wave swarmed him under.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. He can run for it, and he will. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. 3 yards on the keeper, and it's 4th down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Yeah, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone hurting on 3rd down, how big that is. And this had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. 1st down.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the 2nd level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. And they've shown the ability to play tough against the pass, currently ranked number 9 in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
Tackles.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. They'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's got his man on the out route. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a first carry for their fullback. Gave a glimpse of his power, but not a whole lot of space. Down at the 30. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. On second down, it's Hubbard. He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 24.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Whenever you see a team deciding to throw the ball on 3rd and 1, as a defensive player, my mindset is we've got them now, and that's why they dialed up the blitz and got after them.
But occasionally, you want to pass it on 3rd and 1. I mean, not a lot for sure, but sometimes just to keep the defense guessing.
Oh, no doubt. You want to break tendencies as you go along with the game because you don't want them to just say, oh, 3rd and 1, we know exactly what they're going to do. But in this situation, as an offensive lineman, as a running back, I'd want to know why I didn't get the football.
And this one is right down the middle. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Well, forget the field goal to try to tie this thing. They'll have a chance to take the lead here with 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. Got a man. It's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hakeem Butler with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Precision, precision, precision. That's the definition of it right there. Great pass, great catch for the score.
Yeah, people talk about arm strength all the time. Well, if you're not precise and you're not accurate, the arm strength really doesn't matter. We saw a little bit of everything with that throw.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there to touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On first down, Hubbard, and he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Jackson. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check, but they'll get it back.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. That's taken it around the 40. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. They run the counter. It's Hubbard, and the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. That one good for 13 and a Raven first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Jackson now. Only one pass has hit the ground for him. 10 of 11 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Jackson now. Incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Jackson throwing again. That's complete to Butler. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Back to the air, Watson on second down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Well, that second down completion, something of a disaster, and now they're left with 3rd and long. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete on second down now. It's Bowman. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw, Watson. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Watson now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. And now they're in the hurry-up. From the 35 on second down, Watson. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, perfectly executed. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Deshaun Watson with his 19th touchdown, his second of the game. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. A 10-play drive that time. And the final act belonged to Deshaun Watson in his touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. As the offense takes the field, we zero in on Lamar Jackson. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Take it at the 37. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Watson now to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Out of the gun, Watson. Flushed out right. He can run for it, and he will. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will do it for this first half. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. We'll stay in the NFC North as we head over to the Motor City to check on the Lions at home in Detroit. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. And finally, on Monday Night Football, should be a good one there between the Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. In the game you're watching is Deshaun Watson, who is the star of the first half. He's thrown for over 200 yards already, and his guys have the lead as well. As we get you back to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This will be fielded at the 6. Shoves him away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Dolphin first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
From the 50, it's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. Jackson, it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The Ravens send their punter out now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. He'll take it at the 42. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And it'll be Dolphin football. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play caller, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
After the field goal, here's Gonzalez to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Pass interference ruined that series of downs for them.
Here's a run on 1st down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Mike, 44. Your track.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 35.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
We got to step it up.
They'll keep it on the ground. Hubbard. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Now Jackson. Open man completes it to Butler. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll run on 1st down. Bowman. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. That one good for 37 yards. If they're going to try to complete this comeback, they need more runs like that from him, because until that point, he's been virtually shut down.
And based on where they are right now in this game, you would expect the ball to be in the air. But his ability to break off those types of runs, you can get big chunk plays on the ground as well, and he just provided one.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Nine yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a game that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
first down. It's Bowman, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Escaping the pressure right. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own. But let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the first down. So making 4 out of 4 now in the field goal department, and he's able to extend their lead.
When drives are bogged down, he's been automatic out there. So nice to have a kicker you can count on to put points on the board.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. Ready.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Miami. It's the Ravens with possession of the football, but trailing on the big board as we get set for the fourth. Yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Now it's Jackson. This is Butler making the catch. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Jackson now, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson, and that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory, down at the 31. To throw is Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it. Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Play action. Now Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Oh, and after the sack, he's still down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Hard Rock Stadium. The Ravens on third down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This is 3rd and 17. Looking to throw. Johnson. Throw left side, complete. That's Hubbard. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll run on first down. It's Bowman. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked by Yannick Ngakoue, their former Maryland Terp. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Johnson. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. This winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Back to throw. Johnson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Here's Johnson on 3rd and 2. He's got his man. It's Butler. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
2nd down and inches. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 18.
70,
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 1. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Looking to throw. Johnson. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Well, there you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass in the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
Tucker now to add the point after. And the lead will shrink to 6. So that drive spans 13 plays, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And the Dolphins are indeed going to get this, and that should all but do it. Now Deshaun Watson and his offense heading back out there. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Bowman. And I think this defense knew what was coming, as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee, and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises, really both sides did, but they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished, but to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for Miami, it's an important win for their playoff hopes as they move to 8-4. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.